Hey, I'm Kim with Mirth Films, and today we're in downtown Troy on River Street at Love of Fuzz. We're gonna go in, talk to TJ, and see some of his sweet gear. All right, we are here inside Love of Fuzz with TJ. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to hang out with us today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, so you've been here, how long? It's been about 2
We've
years
been about
almost?
2 years, yep. And we've moved once. We got a little more square footage at the new spot,
Cool.
and it's been awesome.
So I know you're from the capital region and lived in a few areas around here, but when it was time to open up shop, what made you say, I'm doing that in Troy?
Yeah, I mean, I was born in Troy. I now live in Troy, and to me, it was like when I lived here and I would drive elsewhere for things, it was always kind of like out of the way, and I'm really just stoked to be at like a city shop on the street. We get walk-ins. It's good for that. And,
Yeah.
And I won't ever leave Troy. Like we're happy here.
It's good. I love Troy too. I feel like over the years, Troy maybe had a bad rap a handful of years ago, but over time people
Yeah.
are like, maybe I like Troy. It's pretty good here.
I think we're doing really good.
So I know you've played guitar yourself since like high school, but a two-part question. So when were you like, okay, I really, really am into gear and like maybe this is an obsession, but then, okay, maybe I can do something with this and like make a career out of it?
Yeah, I've always liked the fixing side of things, whether it was like I fixed cars and motorcycles and stuff like that. So I've always been into like how things work, and that turned into, I don't want to pay anybody to work on my stuff, so fix my own amps, that kind of thing. And like I get really into that half the time more than actual songwriting. Like I love playing, don't get me wrong, but something really cool about like taking something broken, making it work as well as it can. But that happened, I mean, within the last 5-10 years, and I really like, this is all I do now.
And it's cool too, you're like helping other people that do create music like along their journey too, because not everyone has the technical part, so it's like they can come here for the gear and for repairs and stuff, so like it's part of, your interest, but you're like helping other people with their music too.
Yeah, I mean, I went to college, and something about retail has always like stuck out to me. I like helping people, and we get to, like come in with an idea in your head. We figure out what the sound is, what guitar you should use.
Yep.
That's the best. It's a blast.
So since, you're such a fan of gear and you play a little bit yourself, like when so much cool stuff comes through this shop, is it a struggle for you sometimes where you're like, I want this one for me? Like, does a lot of gear steal your heart?
It is unbelievable. And, like, when I opened up, it was all my stuff. Like, everything I'd collected for the last 15 years, everything went for sale, except my wife made me keep one guitar, which is great. And, now, like, righteous stuff comes in, and every once in a while I can take things home now. It's a good
I guess
feeling.
you can try it all out.
Exactly. It's
so
on
that's
permanent
nice.
loan, and, like, if I have a gig, like, I can take anything I want. It's perfect.
Sure. And you have so much interesting stuff. I know if someone stops in and kind of looks through a lot of amps, and a decent selection of guitars too. And I know when people even are just getting started out playing, I think a lot of people get hung up on like big name brands and stuff and like names
Yeah.
But do you think like, you can kind of get any sound you want and have a setup that feels good and plays good despite brand names and like the bigger names, and like you can kind of sound cool on any budget? It seems like you know how to find a lot of sounds with a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely, I mean, I heard the phrase sounds good is good a long time ago, and that's just always stuck with me. Like, it doesn't have to be a blah blah blah.
Right.
You can have cheap stuff and really make awesome sounds. So yeah, definitely that's stuff that I like to have here, especially. Like, it doesn't have to be worth a lot, but it'll sound cool.
So you are up for that challenge though. If someone was to come in here and be like, I'm looking for this kind of tone, this kind of sound, like you can figure it out.
Definitely, that's the fun part.
Cool. And so being in bands and playing, and now moving on to the shop, you've been in different parts, like being a part of the music community around here. What do you like about it so much? Just like meeting different people and everything.
Well, I always thought that we have a really unique area. I mean, like, we've toured around the country, there's really great cities everywhere, but something about the Northeast, specifically Albany, Troy, Capital District area, we're an hour and a half from everything. So it's like we get the best kind of music. Like, we have a great selection of people in the area. Like, I don't know, it's always worked out really well in that sense,
Yeah. And I know, so, you know, people can stop in the shop and see what you've got, but you do a lot of repair stuff too, and you were saying a minute ago, like, you're really kind of into that stuff. Is it mostly amps that you're repairing, or do you do guitar work too?
We do it all. I think what a lot of people know us now is like an amp shop, just because there aren't that many left that work on amplifiers, and, you know, tube amps, we're all about it. But we do everything from, you know, fret leveling to, you know, go right up to amp repairs, pedal repairs, so it's kind of a one-stop shop.
Cool. Yeah, for people that want to stop by, you're open, what's your schedule?
Yeah, so we're here Tuesday through Saturday, 12 to 5, and then on Sundays we're just 12 to 3, and my day off is Monday. So.
Sweet. And like at Love of Fuzz on Instagram and all the social media things
we do
to
all
follow
the social
you.
media, loveoffuzz.com, and yeah, it's
an online store too?
Yep, all online.
Cool.
You can buy it there if you don't want to come in and, you know.
And deal with you.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for, you know, hanging out, talking, and we're going to take a look at some of this cool stuff you got.
It was great talking to you.